What up, good people? It's your boy BTG, aka Bust Them Guns, back at you with another review. So let me just first start out by saying this video is for educational purposes only, and we are in a safe and controlled environment. So now we got that out of the way. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I ask that everyone take the time to make sure you subscribe to the channel. Just because the information popped up in your feed does not necessarily mean you subscribe to the channel. So take the time, hit that subscribe button. It helps us grow, helps us with the algorithm, and that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to grow. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get into it. So today's video is inspired by our Canik family, primarily by the new drop, the Canik TTI Combat. So it was only appropriate that we break out the other two just to have a good comparison, something to talk about, see how they line up. And that seems to be the theme of the rollout. It's been compared to the other Caniks in the family. So I'll give you my spin on it. There's a lot of reviews out there. I'm a little bit late to the party. We can pretty much attribute that to a botched up pre-order. I pre-ordered this TTI Combat back on March 29th. So I expected to get it. The rollout, I think, was April 22nd. Expected to get it shortly after that. And that saga went on and on and on. It was delayed, it's coming, they're coming. Canik slow shipping them. Meantime, they're popping up everywhere else. So much for getting ahead of the game. Would have loved to cancel it, but it was a 20% cancellation fee, so wasn't looking to bite that bullet. So waited it out. This bad boy is just now coming in. So that was my first and last pre-order. So going forward, I'll get them like I get them. No such thing as getting ahead of the curve. Learned that the hard way. So let's get into this video. Format, we're going to jump out to the range, get some footage. We shot all three of these. We'll bounce in and out, kind of go over the footage, go over the shooting experience. This thing's been out for a minute. Like I say, I'm late to the game, so we're not going to try to do an in-depth review on features, but we will go over the similarities and the differences in the characteristics. So they are very similar, yet very different. The SFX is where it all started, so that's the original polymer model. But most of the comparisons, most of the feedback has been with the steel frame. And I really don't think that's a fair comparison. I think that's kind of apples and oranges. But that's what seems to have been the theme. And I think the TTI has been getting not so much of a fair shake. So if you're comparing it to a steel frame, obviously they're going to be similar, or the steel frame, depending on the shooter, might be considered better. But I mean, the steel frame's a much heavier firearm. So yeah, the TTI is comp, but that's really just leveling the playing field. So I don't think that's an adequate comparison. That's why I definitely want to bring out the original SFX, because I think that's where the conversation should be. The firearms are very much alike. Weight-wise, dimensions of all three are very similar, but weight-wise, which is where the difference is coming in, they're pretty much identical. So I think that's where the conversation should have been. But let's start out. As far as the range, we went in order. We started with the TTI, we bounced to the steel frame, and we finished off with the SFX. So we're gonna jump out to the range, put some rounds through this TTI, and we'll bounce back in real quick, and we'll go back and forth. So that's how we'll go. So let's start with the TTI. Let's jump out to the range, and we'll come back in a minute. Okay, good people. So we're running. We're out here at the range. We've got this TTI Combat. As we stated, we're going to run some rounds through this bad boy. So this is going to be first shots. We got the dot on there. I think we're dialed in. It's that MA3. This thing feels nice to the grip. Integrated comp. So we brought out some guest appearances. I'll do just a mini comparison. We got the steel frame out here. So we'll put some rounds through that. Try to get some comparison footage there. You definitely feel the immediate difference with the weight, but you knew that. And then we got the original SFX rival polymer. So that's going to be closest in weight. Obviously, it's the comp, but we'll still see how it compares as far as the feel. I think the trigger in there is pretty much identical to the steel frame. So the TTI to the finger feels a little better. I think that trigger's an upgrade. We're going to run them all, have a little fun. Compare. So let me get you set up, and we'll put some rounds down ready. So So first shots, I chamber it around, put one in the head, and let's go. Definitely accurate. That dot seems to be dialed in. Nice defender. I like that. I like that. Recoil is decent. Okay, cool. So welcome back. So the TTI first shots I thought was impressive. So let's go ahead and show the weapon is clear. Everything is empty. Put that mag back in for a step. So just kind of talk a little bit about the characteristics. I love this bronze color. I like the accents. You got fiber optic up front. You got black out in the rear. You do get a coat witness with this optic, but it's low. I thought it would have been much more visible, much more easy to pick up. You can pick up, but you don't have much room there. So it would have been much better with a little bit higher sights, or if the optic had just been a little bit thinner. But I do like the fact that the optic mounts low, so it sits down low on there. This is a direct mount. The footprint is an SRO footprint, so go with the optic of your choice. You do get plates with it. 4 plates come with it, so if you want to mount something different, you can. I bought the model with the MO3 optic, and I like it. I'm glad I did. I like the design. I like the cat ears on there. You got a nice big window on this bad boy, and the red dot is nice and clear. So the red dots don't come through good on camera, and that's cool. But you can see the window size. I like the contrast, that bronze color against that black. Got the cutouts on top, cutouts on the side, and the grip texture on this bad boy is nice and aggressive. So that's a step up from the previous SFX. Aluminum mag well, you got the back strap, so that you could change out if you wanted. So far we're rocking just as it is. You got the comp on here, that's the big selling point. And this here is a threadless comp. So you got the tool that comes with it to remove that, twist, pull off for cleaning, easy access. So that's a big seller because it's acceptable in all 50 states because you don't have to deal with a threaded barrel. Trigger wise, all these triggers pretty much break around 4 pounds. I think the TTI might be a little bit better, but you're still breaking around 4 pounds. If you know Canik, you know their triggers are solid. So you expect that. They didn't disappoint. Trigger is just as nice on here, so no complaints there. I think that between the 3 of these, the trigger's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. These triggers are identical, so no change there. But this is a little bit better. But the difference is not even noticeable enough to really discuss. So this shot well, first shots, I enjoyed it, I liked it, I was impressed. But then we moved on to the steel frame. So let's jump back out there, put some rounds through that steel frame, and then we'll come back in and we'll talk about that and we'll talk about the difference. See how it compares to the steel frame with the SFX. So put one in the head. And let's see what the difference feels like. You the judge on camera. Much different. Yeah, that feels very similar. Frame. It's not much different. So you got the compensator on the top, but you get the wheel. So the weight is pretty much a compensator on the steel frame. All right, so welcome back. So the steel frame, as a direct comparison, shooting it right after the TTI, mag is empty, weapon's empty, mag back in for a steady. The recoil is very similar. I mean, it's not even enough of a difference to say it's different. and that's expected. You got the weight of the steel frame. These two pistols here are identical in weight, 29.5 ounces. The steel frame is coming in at 42, almost 43 ounces. So it should have less felt recoil. So in comparing these two, yeah, it balances out, but the weight versus the comp pretty much crosses itself out. So I don't think that's a fair comparison. Aesthetics, slide cut on top. You got slide cut on each side. This bad boy has the polished highs on here, on each side in the serrations. Got the satin lows. Same thing as far as sights. You got fiber optic up front, blackout in the rear. The difference on these, the SFX steel as well as the regular rival, you lose the rear sight when you mount the optic, because the rear sight is part of the optic plate, the cover plate. So it comes with 4 plates. The blackout edition comes with 5, and that 5th plate actually has the rear sight attached to it. So you do pick up the sight and you're allowed to run the optic on that. You can purchase that for these, but if you go with the blackout model for either one of these, you get that 5th plate. Other than that, you get 4. But I like this. Another difference is the grip. Steel frame has the wraparound grip versus just the back strap. So that's nice. You get extra grips in there. And aluminum mag well, just as with the other. So black accents, I think this is nice. They went with the black barrel on the SFX. I think that would have been a nice touch on here as well, because it will have accents the cutouts even more. So it would have been a nice contrast. But all in all, no issue shooting this. Recoil very much the same. So moving right along. Next up is the SFX rifle. So let's jump out there, let's shoot some rounds through there, and then we'll bounce back in here and we'll talk about that. So this is the SFX. Let's see what it feels like here. I'd say if you're going to do a direct comparison, it's easily discernible that the original FSX has got much more control, but between the steel frame and the TTI, very similar. They pretty much balance each other. All right, so the original rifle. So let's clear this bad boy. Nothing in the mag, weapon is clear. Mag back in for aesthetics. So there we go. This is the gray model with the gold accents. I like that gold. So it contrasts nice against that gray. But as far as other features, this is identical to the steel frame. It's just polymer. Polymer frame with the steel slide. So you got the gold accent on the trigger, mag release, slide lock, as well as your mag well, and the base plates. You get a couple of aluminum base plates and you get the plastic. I put the aluminum on there. With the TTI, you get the +3, but you can easily buy the +3 for this. So there you go. I think you get multiple mag releases, so you can change that, or you can go with the one. This is the extended. So there you go. Blacked out rear, fiber optic front, same cutouts. The recoil on this, immediate difference. As soon as you shoot it, it's got much more snap to it than those two. And that's to be expected. But that also tells you that the comp on the TTI is doing what it's supposed to do. It's reducing that recoil. If you shoot these side by side, then you notice right away that the comp is extremely effective. And that's what it was designed to do. I think the shortfall is, with the TTI name, people expected a lot more. They jump right to the steel frame for the comparison, and then they start bashing. I don't think that was the route to go. If they had put it up against this, then the conversation would have been totally different. So that's my take on it. This shoots nice. I enjoy shooting it. It's accurate. It's fun to shoot. The texture, like I say, it's decent, but it's not near as aggressive as the on the TTI. So that was a nice upgrade, nice enhancement. But you can change the backstrap here. We got the lock accessories coming for this, so we're gonna spice this up a little bit. But this still shoots nice. So we went through another round. I kind of changed the angle of the camera, kind of brought it in a little bit closer so you can get a little more of a side view. and see the difference in the recoil. So let's jump back out to the range, same order, starting with the TTI. It's a little better picture. It's a little, clean it up a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm loving the feel. I think it's a nice shoot. I think the comp definitely makes a difference. Okay. So hopefully that was a little better camera angle for you. You can see TTI once again shot fine. At this point, I'm not really shooting for accuracy. I'm just kind of enjoying the firearm, taking it in. These are first shots, so just kind of getting a feel for it. I enjoy it. I think it's a nice firearm, especially for the money. I think it is what it was designed to be. I think a lot of people got caught up in the name. TTI, Terran Tactical, you know, he does the guns for the movies. You weren't buying a Sand Viper. You got a $1,000 gun, and I think you got your money's worth and some. So if that was the expectation going in, I think the reviews would have been out of the park right off the bat. So I think the TTI is well worth the money. I don't regret purchasing it at all. I think if you're gonna compare it to the SFX. I went to another round with the steel frame. So let's jump back out there. Let's take a look at that. Let you see that footage, and then we'll bounce right back in. Feels nice. Steel frame definitely shoots really nice. So the steel frame, I don't feel any different after shooting it a second time. I don't know if it shows up any different in the camera, but a blast to shoot, but you don't feel much difference in the felt recoil between those two. And that's expected. You got a significant weight difference, but the compensator balances off that weight. So moving along, we're gonna jump right back out there. Final round with the SFX, so let's jump back out. So back to the original. Yeah, I'd say we're looking good either way. So, final shots with the SFX, standard polymer. I feel the same. It's immediately noticeable, much more snappier. You should be able to see it in the camera angle. It's jumping, and that's expected. It's not that it's uncontrollable. It's still a 9mm, 5-inch barrel. Both of these are 5 inches. The Canik is 4.6 because of the comp setup, but overall length is pretty close. I think the overall on the TTI is about a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch shorter, just because of that comp design. But other than that, identical. 29.5 ounces, 29.5 ounces, 42, almost 43 ounces. You're gonna get a difference. They should have never really been compared. It should have been a comparison right out the gate, either with the SFX or something else similar. Now, I will say this, there's some other comp firearms that have been released out there. The new Smith & Wesson is killing it with the comp. That's a little bit bigger of a comp, that's a metal frame. So I'd say it's probably much more of a reduction in recoil on that model over the other models. The Radian ramjet. I mean, this is not a ramjet. TTI, I mean, they could have gave you bigger ports in there, and I think it would have been more effective than it is. But having said that, I don't think that is not effective. It's just not as effective as some of the other pieces out there. But when you compare it to what it directly runs to side by side, it's extremely effective. So you're getting what you pay for. So I have no regrets about buying it. I'm going to keep it. If they make a steel frame, I'm going to get the steel frame, just like I got the steel frame here. I think it's worth having. As far as the accessories here, if you've seen the reviews, like I said, they've been out a while, you know what you're getting. This is the TTI case. You got the double decker, the extra mag, that's the +3, a couple of back straps, toolkit, holster on the bottom, TTI coin, so the usual there. Nice case though, very nice case. Steel frame, pretty much the same thing, minus the coin. So this is what you're getting here. Wraparound grip, so you're getting a couple of extra back straps. Got your mag, toolkit, and same thing down the bottom. You got your holster, clean supplies, and that's that. Even with the original SFX, I mean, they did you pretty decent because that's what Canik does. So it's a one-layer case, but you're still well accessorized. You got your back straps, you got the same little toolkit, cleaning supplies, got your extra mags, you got your plates here, and obviously you got your holster. So Canik gives you your money's worth. And you know that the trigger is going to be there. So the killer is trigger right out the bat. That's a major selling point for them, and it does not disappoint. It did not disappoint with this model. They claim it's better. I'd say it's a little bit better, but if it's breaking around 4 pounds, how much better can it be? It's consistent. That's what I'll say. So it did not disappoint. I say they're all three great. I say it was a good rollout. I say the expectations, the hype, didn't do it any justice. If it had been set out to be what it is, then I think it would have been much more better received. But I'm content. That's my take on it. It's your boy BTG, aka Bust Them Guns. Check us out on the other platforms at Bust Them Guns, Instagram, Facebook. Until next time, look for the upgrades on these. I've got enhancements coming. As they come, well, I'll probably wait till all of them come in to roll it out. I may do a couple of shorts here and there, but they're going to be hot. So you want to catch it. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. But we'll see you on the other side. Holla.